Hi, I'm George Jelinek. 25 years ago, at age 45, I was diagnosed with MS after my mother died of the same illness years earlier. Within weeks, I had developed what is now known as the Overcoming MS program, a formula that I hoped would keep me well over the long term. 3 months after diagnosis, realising the importance of expressing difficult feelings, I started writing regularly in my diary. Passing the 25-year milestone this year, and now aged 70 and perfectly well, I felt that perhaps my diaries might be of use to other people with MS facing similar hurdles. So in this audio series, I narrate my diaries exactly as they were written a quarter of a century ago, changing only one or two details to protect people described in the journals. I hope that listening to my own personal struggles, fears and occasional successes may resonate with you and trigger your own reflection. I hope you may also be inspired to give back to Overcoming MS, the charity, by joining a circle, perhaps even becoming an ambassador, by volunteering, donating or fundraising, or joining the conversation in the Live Well Hub app. Most of all, I hope that this very personal account of what I experienced can provide you with hope, real hope, that overcoming MS is possible. Tuesday, 9 November 1999. It's interesting to see how things change. Maybe not writing here for so long has something to do with that. Almost to the day since stopping writing last month, I've had increasing problems with my legs and bigger problems with my faith. It's strange that on that Sunday I decided to start moving on a bit and simultaneously suffered some physical problems. Who knows what's actually happening? I'm certainly scared and starting to get a bit tearful at times. Despite everything I'm doing, it feels like my legs are getting weak. It's not something really definite like my first attack, it's just a heavy kind of tiredness. I'm still running okay, but it's mighty hard work. I've bitten the bullet though, and tomorrow see my neurologist, who will no doubt do an MRI, and then we'll know. If it is a relapse, I can't afford to let it go without trying medication to improve things and slow down the process. Despite living like I was going to be fine, it's come to this. It's quite terrifying, and I'm not sure quite how to handle it. The best news in the world, of course, would be an unchanged MRI. I'd be deliriously happy and grateful, but I suspect it's something to do with MS. For me, the thing has to be to focus on being positive. Seeing myself as a 70-year-old man, white-haired, striding along the beach with my wife hand in hand. To see my book hopefully help thousands of people and stop their deterioration. God, I hope Swank was an honest researcher. Medicine can harbour a few charlatans. It's really hard to stay focused when I'm so preoccupied about this, but I'm sure going to try. My tractor is still working well, smoothing out the edges of the roads, and I can still see myself striding along that beach. I can still walk and run and swim. I pray it holds. Thursday, 30 December 1999. Things aren't going too well. To be honest, I'm really concerned. I can feel myself starting to get depressed. It's a really difficult thing to fight, and I can't say why exactly I should be feeling like this. I've never been depressed before. But now, at 8.5 months since diagnosis, with the spectre of MS looming over everything I do. It's just starting to grind me down. It does seem extraordinary that at a time when I'm 100% well and had no disability at all, that I should be getting depressed. But I guess I underestimated the effect of self-injecting a drug every day. Not that I dislike or detest it in any way. I actually look forward to it in a strange way because each needle is like a down payment on my future health. But the real problem, I guess, is that deep down where I live, I've started to feel myself as a sick person because I need a needle every day. It's hard to be sure if that's it or not. I guess the truth is I'll never have my old carefree life back. There's now a cloud hovering over everything. Last night at our friend's party, I was the life of the party early, but that was just a drink or two talking. Later I just couldn't find anything to say as people started talking about four-wheel drive trips and movies and holidays, etc. It just all seemed so irrelevant to me. My life revolves around getting my medicines at the right time, my diet and the MS. Strangely, though all this is working and keeping me well, I almost feel I'd prefer to just go with the flow and live a normal life and say, to hell with it. I don't feel like going out. I don't feel like laughing. I don't feel like telling jokes. I'm not sleeping well despite time off work. Work just couldn't be more irrelevant now. I just want the holiday season to be over. I don't understand it, but it's really clear that I am getting depressed. The problem is I've lost my inspiration, my spark, the will to fight. I need it back. Perhaps I need some more inspirational books or movies or someone. I guess I really need me back. To some extent, I can't tell if the frontal lobe lesion that showed up on the MRI 7 weeks ago had anything to do with it or is having anything to do with it. But on the other hand, I know I've become more emotional since that happened. My memory too falters from time to time. It hasn't affected my performance yet, but it doesn't seem to be 100%. I've been up since really early this morning after a late night, and I feel like rubbish. We've got dinner at a friend's place tonight, and they're bound to pester me about why I don't cheer up again like they did last time, and then New Year's Eve tomorrow night, and I just don't feel like going to either. But I have to mark this day down as the start of my turnaround. If I don't make some kind of stand, I can feel I'll slip inexorably down. It would be crazy to be depressed or suicidal when I'm well. I have to leave that for if and when I actually get sick. For now, I have to resolve to fight my way back. I am committing to this, that December 30, 1999 is the start of my recovery. Tuesday, 25 January 2000. Feeling a bit flat tonight. Life's a funny thing. I've had so many ups and downs lately. On Friday morning last week, I got a call from Highland House to say they want to publish my book. But 4 days later, I'm feeling really flat, irritated with work, despite things going well, and kind of waiting for something to happen. I don't know to what extent my obvious fluctuations in mood are caused by the frontal lobe lesion that developed. I feel really on top of the injecting, in fact look forward to it every day, because it feels like I'm doing something positive about MS. I feel pretty nervous and not very keen about the way my world will be turned upside down in October when the book comes out. You sort of want to get on top of this disease, then get on with life without MS dominating it. But October will see everything revolve around MS for a while. At least I'll be rested after 6 months study leave. I'm looking forward to that more than I can say. I really should wind down. Tuesday, 14 March 2000. Started study leave today. It's incredible how time just keeps ticking. When I started at the hospital, I thought 3 years away was forever, and here I am. I deliberately didn't do much today. I just want to get used to slowing down and enjoying life. Yesterday was 11 months since diagnosis. Every day that I stay well makes me a bit more confident of the future. With all the bases I'm covering, things just have to go well. My son Mike was great the other day. He said I should be Australian of the Year. I was intrigued as to why. He said, "Well, you're a famous professor, Dad, who's overcome MS and written a book to tell other people how to do it too." He's a cute boy. He really thinks about things. Maybe tomorrow I'll do a bit more. Then again, maybe I won't. Saturday, 6 May 2000. Well, it's nice to be here. As the 12-month anniversary of getting MS fades into the distance and life starts to be more even and more like it used to be, things are going really well. Of course, what a difference it makes to be on leave. Mind you, I have trouble fitting everything into my day at times, what with coaching football, editing the journal, all the family commitments I've got, and of course the study I'm doing on study leave. But I like it that way. I feel far more even-tempered, more focused and happier than I have been for a long time. I'm even starting to read novels again. Fingers crossed. Saturday, 22 July 2000. Time just marches on. It's impossible to stop it, obviously. I get the feeling there are so many alternate lives that are like little rivulets in the sand flowing from any point in time. And the choices you make right now result in which final point you end up at. I'm here, over 15 months on from diagnosis, because of the choices I made all that time ago. And although I still don't feel that confident about everything, there's this gradual strengthening of faith that goes on. One of my biggest satisfactions is watching those who've turned to me for help also do well. Only time will tell how they all go, but I have a quiet confidence about them too. This long break from formal work has been interesting. I've just gone with the flow rather than trying to do too much for a change. And it feels good. I feel really even-tempered and relaxed. Okay, so there's one excerpt from the diaries that I kept from my first couple of years of overcoming MS. Of course, that's 25 years ago now, and I'm a different person. Perhaps paradoxically, though, being diagnosed with MS offered me an opportunity I might not otherwise have had. And for me, that was to live a more authentic life. In listening to this account, perhaps you found a sense of some freedom to explore your own insights and whatever opportunities that may have arisen for you as a result of the diagnosis of MS. Every journey after a MS diagnosis is different. This has been just a small part of mine. Finding your own way through the ups and downs is what the journey is all about. Overcoming MS is here to provide a few signposts and support along the path. But The journey is your own. Have faith in yourself and in your own capacity to be well. And please, join me again in a couple of weeks' time for another episode of the Journals.